welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel, and in this one we have SHACO vs Vi. But the SHACO is one we covered many years ago. He is a Flash Hail of Blades AD SHACO player. Not only that, he has 1000 LP on EU West, he has a 69% nice win rate on the champion, averages 10 kills and 2 deaths a game in 170 games. And he builds full AD. We're going to have a look at what he does, how he does, and why he does, and when he does, just so you can see that SHACO, as much as I hate him, as much as you all hate me for hating him, has an interesting spin on how to play the champion, because largely we see AP Ignite, we don't see Flash, we see some AD homies, but we don't see your Duskblade Blader, the Ruined King Collector / Lord Doms players. Now, that's what he does. About 38% of the time, it's quite specific, he goes the Lord Doms third, and then 34% of the time he does the Collector. That's all from onetricks.gg, so you can actually see that data, which is kind of nice. We're going to obviously go from our W into the Q into the E so we can make sure we get a nice gank at the mid lane. We are ensuring that the Q deceive lets us hit from behind so we get our passive proc going, as well as the 2 shiv extra damage to finish her off. Classic. Didn't need Ignite because we have the damage and we positioned like a human being. And if you want to take your climbing and jungling to the next step, head to Virkayu.gg for all of the jungle resources you need, from courses based upon your MMR to one-on-one coaching to the coaching of library, as well as a free jungle improvement PDF. Everything you need as a jungler to climb faster than anybody else with the role, all located in one place. Why spend 500 hours of your time trying to find out what you don't know you need to know when I can give it to you directly infused into your veins on Virkayu.gg. We leave this lane alone. We see here, bottom lane going fisting. This is music to the Jack in the Box because we can rotate and oof. Obviously the vibe will be pathing downside here, so we can go in basically within vision because we want to mind game them. So a lot of SHACOs will go in where they don't see them. They go in, they go in where they can see him, and now the Thresh is confused. We lay down the box, we get the kill there. We now have our flash available as necessary. We'll go in on the Jinx, kill her, flash the Vi's Q, which is great, showing the outplay potential, and then we will just go fisticuffs and wait for our Q to come off cooldown, chuck out another E, and will it be enough? No. But that was a great example there of why Flash can be used to outplay opponents when your Q deceive is on cooldown. And obviously early rotation is 12 seconds. So buying time for that Q there allows us then to not only reposition to use it again, get the bonus damage on the attack, but also to maybe just get out and live our lives. Take Scuttle Crab, go to the blue and the Grump. Now Vi obviously gets away from this. She will go and clean this up before she goes Arcane bottom side. SHACO obviously has boxes available to tank some damage from the blue side, and now we will most likely expect a Thresh Lantern into the Vi repeat gank. That was quite funny. Now SHACO, does he decide to leave his blue here and go fisting? Obviously Cassio has that mid lane prior, so he probably doesn't want this. Like, basically when this happens, it's like, why are you walking to me? I cannot help you right now. I just want to clear the jungle. You know, actually, maybe we can help him. No, we cannot, I guess. So, you know, but like, still, why are you walking this way? Just die somewhere else peacefully and leave me alone. Because then I can just do my camps and no one's really going to be worrying about me, and I can kind of skirt on up here and maybe, well, at this point, we want to go back to base, right? We want to get this Rated Dirk. We want to stack long swords more than Ryan Choi stacked Doran's blades on Rengar top lane in Season 4. That's what we want to do. So, 3 kills, 0 deaths, 0 assists. This is how your early game should look. And I'm really happy we got to see an immediate usage of the flash. Immediately we got to see someone use their Q deceive in the face of the enemy to say, guess where I am? You won't be able to do it. You can't do it. He doesn't know. And then you kill the Thresh, you kill the Jinx, and now we can go back to base. Actually, I lied about that Serrated Dirk. I'm completely trolling you. I meant the Berserkers plus the pickaxe because we need to go Blade of the Ruin King first. Excuse me. I apologize. I've done about 4 videos recording today, so my mind is a bit waxed hysterical. So please, I apologize profusely for that mislook. Because I was looking at a few SHACO mains to do a video on, and obviously there are some that do that, so I just got my wires crossed. Apologies once more. Out of base now we go with the Zerkers plus the pickaxe. Obviously, yes, we want the Blade of the Ruin King first into the Duskblade, and obviously into that Lord Doms or Collector flex. Now, Malphite will be hitting 6 reasonably soon at this particular stage. We've got the 530 wave arriving, Cannon waves arriving, Cassiopeia also with the 6. Now she can cause that turn. Vi shows up from the top side. This makes perfect sense. We get the Q, we force the flash out from the Malphite. We say, hey, we've done Krugs and Raptors. You're level 4, I'm SHACO, I have a box, and you have nothing. Whoa, you see that? 530 wave, 546, she dings level 6. Immediately pulls the plug on that gank and goes back up. Obviously she did this, we didn't need to check it. because we can track the CS at this particular stage, Cassandra's going in on the Gwen. She dies. Does SHACO fancy himself a little bit here? Can we get into position? Let's click to look for our cooldowns. We hit the Q there. We're going to try and make sure we can get that. They always run away from SHACO, which of course means there's more damage, but you know, what are you going to do? Stand and die most of the time? But the Cassandra has a huge fat wave here. He really fancies his chances. You know, in this particular case, it's not really about, it's about looking to see if you can do something depending on the champion, but as an assassin here, the experience is valuable because we're already infused with gold, right? Vi is 2k, we have 3.3. We don't really need to push that lead even more right now through high risk. We can just say, look, let me take the experience, because an assassin with a gold lead from good ganks early and invades or whatever, who then also gets experience, is the one that runs over the game. Now, she obviously flexes and goes and takes a dragon because that's what she's going to do. It would make most sense for her to go and steal this because she kind of knows he's going to go to his red, but she doesn't have bot price, so she can just gank this lane as well if they want to go all out aggressive. SHACO in the meantime will path downside. There's no herald to go to for another minute, so he's not going to do that. The Thresh is kind of just baiting out that lantern. Cassio's roaming on down. SHACO's on the wolves on the ground. We're watching this, we're studying this, we're seeing, is it worth going in at all? We love it when they take tower shots because maybe there is something we can do. We do have 6 as well, so let's see what we can do. This particular stage, we are only playing a game with ourselves, which is what you want to do. The Aphelios, avoiding the Grump who's getting a bit thirsty. I mean, look, I'm happy investing this time because they're... Firstly, that's an absolute free kill with your E with the bonus damage proc. That 80 ratio goes from 80% to 120%, by the way. So that pickaxe is doing huge work. And then because you go deep on the person who's playing super safe, you can then turn onto the Jinx and kill her afterwards. And that's a nice thing about the SHACO playstyle as an assassin, well, any assassin playstyle. When someone's low, they want to hover back in case you're going to run at them. SHACO can physically do that and then turn onto your teammate who's now screwed. Nice way to think about it. Now, Vi at this particular stage should be able to snack these things here, basically reduced to some kind of map control jungling because she cannot control the SHACO. You cannot predict this kind of stuff. I mean, you can, and you should to a large degree be able to kind of read what he's going to do, but you can't always expect your laners to understand that either. So the Vi is doing effectively what she can to, you know, gank this lane, burn a flash, take a dragon, take a herald. She ganked this lane as well. She's 1-0-1. It's okay. But the SHACO, this guy who's so good at this champion, knows how to hold a wave, catch some, you know, good sequence, hold a wave, good sequence, cut down, make the kills, sequence back upside. He's always getting himself fed and strong. I mean, when you average 10 kills and 2 deaths a game, I mean, you know what you're doing. And you're safe, right? You're safe. You have really, really good risk assessment. And I think that's a big thing to take away from assassin playstyles. How good is your risk assessment when you're 1 fed but 2 behind? Because that changes. Now, Vi, obviously, it looks like she wants to posture and actually use this Herald here. So we have the pings from the Gwen. Can you actually stay? Because she's going to use it. I will have TP up, so the SHACO will go in here. Obviously, we do have our ult available if we wanted to. We get the Cassante onto us. He goes unstoppable here, takes the clone with him. Can we go? Pop goes the Weasel. Yes, we can. We're going to Q and make sure we get that kill. Excuse me, flashing. Goodness gracious me. It's not... Even my mind isn't registering the flash, it's registering it as a Q. But again, the flash showcasing how good it is. We get the kill from that, and we escape like geniuses. Mad geniuses, Joker geniuses, Arkham Asylum jungling, but at its finest quality. Really? That's twice now, right? That's twice we've seen that. And now you can argue, yes, but with Ignite. But also, the flash allows you to gap close for another auto, gap close for another 2 shiv, gap close for whatever you want to do. And also avoid death from critical spells. It's a good spell. That's why everyone takes it by default. Well, before they buffed Ghost, it made it actually pretty good. Yeah, pretty strong, but pretty good as well. So, 6-0-0. We finished Blade of the Ruined King, obviously. Now we can go to Dustblade. And basically our attack speed plus our farming should be pretty damn good for abilities. We have here 2 in box, 3 in Q. And the Jinx is ulting cinematically. Does it hit? ADC, ADC. Every single game on this channel, Jinx ult misses. Every single game. Coaching channel, the Silver Jinxes, you guys hit that at an amazing accuracy. It's not like the Gwen was even moving. She was standing still. We overthink it, I think. You know, once you get to high elo, I think people overthink people's movements. Like, oh, they're going to see it, then they're going to dodge left, and I have to angle it at 24.4 degrees. You know, you're not doing any axial tilt exercises like on the planet Earth, man. They just shoot it to where they're going to be. They're not going to notice it, especially top laners. Island gaming. Anyway, we leave the base, we snack our blue, we take our Grump, we place a box, place a ward. We know it's control warded. Vi is hovering. as she has been at this particular point. And we know when she does this and takes this and does this, obviously she'll be going to the bottom side. So SHACO positions for a counter gank, invests that time, no stress basically for us. We're hugely far ahead. If she doesn't gank here, then most likely she'll come back up this way. So maybe we can ward and control, go in on the Cassio. She's the one you don't really want to go in on, unless Malphite can burn the miasma, alter, and also get the ult back. So basically, we don't waste too much time here. The Vi obviously falls back into this. Really, it's about mind games. Like, who's going to stay the longest, and what can I do otherwise? SHACO's just kind of posturing again at this point. There we go, you see. You want to position with your Q, Malphite goes in, she can't actually get off her miasma or her ult, boom, dead. No reaction possible, beautifully done. Now, while that happened, the Vi will get Lantern to the bottom lane eventually. We'll go Thresh ult, hit the Q, kill this guy, just ult him to kill him. Yeah, when you're sick of the Aphelios, just press R. When you're sick of any ADC, just press the button. Now SHACO goes, well, I don't have an Aphelios. This is sticky wicked, because I kind of want... I'm just nodding in approval, because you know me, I play support as well. I play jungle. That's what I do, but I love this deep ward passionately. I place it as often as I can. Obviously, I'm a Zyra player, so I'll shove it and I'll place it. I have total control, right? Cassandra kills going again. But because we had it only on the SHACO's POV, basically, as well, because I'm talking about a whole bunch of different things, right? I'm not only just jungling myself, I'm talking about both junglers all the time. You're gonna miss some things, but in game, I just had a coaching session as well. You know, people are not walking over brushes sometimes, and it does happen at 1k LP, at 500 LP, at 0, at Diamond, Platinum. People walk over brushes in a good way most of the time, but some games they just don't. Like my jungler walked up this way, didn't check this bush, just went here, and he got seen, and by extension, boom, bot lane. Like, they saw him top lane, they just collapsed on bottom lane, perma-fisted, it was over. All because we walked in on this, and we didn't know that they saw us. Because if we know that they see us, then we can play accordingly. Ah, shit, they saw me, I might go to the bottom side, right? You know, ah, shit, they saw me, I know they saw me because I walked over the bush and saw the ward, I know Thresh could hook me, therefore I'm not going to go this way. But we didn't check the brush, we walked through it, sometimes they walk over it and we don't even notice it was warded, and we get outplayed. So, really good ward there by the Thresh. Tough for junglers to kind of always know if it's warded or not. Just watch Prio and roams and things like this. But now it will make sense. Be like, they warded it. So, for the rest of the game, we know that the Thresh will like to ward this spot. We can check it and control it. Vi ganks to the Gwen. SHACO in the meantime says, okay, my death, apologies. I only die twice a game, so I've got one more. I'll save that for the late game team fights when it's sacrificial. Let me just do a full clear. No objectives on the map right now. We lost the second dragon too. Let me try and get 11 as soon as possible. And do what I can. Maybe we can kill the... We can do it. Yes, we can. Here we go. Vi counter ganks at this particular point. Now the miasma's going through, but it's not going on the actual SHACO. It's going on the clone. The Q toss does work. The ult from the Jinx does hit this time, but it does not kill the rock. For he is rock solid. Okay, we went into the hook here. The Blitzcrank's gonna hook the Cassio, but the replay froze. Having some issues. So there's the Jinx ult hitting again. The Blitzcrank's doing around the wall here. He's gonna nail this flash hook. The SHACO will go in with E just coming off cooldown, which will basically just give us a free kill over there. Nicely done. Easy, right? But he's positioning so perfectly. If you play this champion, you play any assassin, please observe the angles that he uses to flank. I'm not going to draw a geometric diagram every time he does it, but you can pay attention to it. Say, okay, look, he's going from this angle, he's going from this angle. He's trying to maximize the 2-shift bonus damage. He's trying to maximize the passive. He's maximizing the Q to see extra auto as well. That's the whole thing, right? There's no point having extra damage. As you can see there, physical and magic. He's kind of hybrid. And worth noting, even though the scale's juicy AD damage, it's still magic damage, right? So people building armor for an E-maxing 80 SHACO aren't really going to block a lot. You're going to block this one right here. Okay, that's physical, and obviously this aspect of the passive that can critically strike, hence the usage that you have for things like Collector, and of course the IE SHACOs. We try to go for this. In the meantime, everyone collapses and we die. Our teammates are not really trying to help us, so that's not so good. But remember, just keep yourself from dying, from throwing. Don't give them bounties. Don't die with your team in bad situations. Get as much farm as you can, as much gold as you can, and see what happens. So here, basically, We lose that Herald. We're going to go down to the blue and the grub. We want to get 11. The fact that we have 11 means we can probably just rotate to this directly. Malphite does not have support here. Sorry, teleport here. As I said, long day. Activates the Herald. And Blitzcrank misses the hook, but we can basically Bing Shill. We've got some boxes. We have our ult available. Maybe there's a couple kills that we can snack for an overcommit. We're going to Q over the wall. We see the Thresh. We just chuck our E there. We'll get the slow, get an auto attack for the kill. Vi Qs us. We're going to ult. And now we can go super gaming. Malphite just going to ult, force the flash from the Jinx. We'll get the hook there. We'll get the kill on the Jinx. You see in the backline here, over here with the Duskblade refresh. Now we turn into the Vi. She has no mana. Cassante shows up as well. Clone on the backside there, hoping to get some fears off. Also, we're going to Q over the wall. Clone's going to go with us. Nice drag. It dies over there. Cassante goes in on the Gwen, who is immune, who is immune, who is immune. Waiting, chuck the E, chucks the EQs the other direction. Just chuck it and run. Just chuck it and run. Make sure we can survive. Nicely done again. So you're seeing the power of, obviously we watch this, I watch this, we look at the cooldowns, we're thinking about it. When you're this good, that's 2 in a row they hit, but they don't kill. On the coaching channel, they kill. Get better, guys. Obviously, you just don't have to think about your cooldowns when you do a build so frequently. And this is kind of the point. You're not seeing this one trick with this win rate in this many games at 1 KLP, doing Blade into Duskblade, then doing an Eclipse game, and then trying a Ravenous Hydra game, then rushing, the tank Shaco, and then doing Landry Shaco, and then, they're not coin flipping random builds that make no sense to try all the things. He has done all the limit testing over his days, and obviously, even if he hasn't, he has synergized a build with his champion that suits his mind that he just runs every single game. That's what one tricks do. When you've mastered your champion, you find the build that suits your style with the champion and you spam it, you spam it, you spam it, which is why I tell you, if you prefer this and prefer using Flash over, say, Ignite and AP, and you want to try this, then try this, but build it every game, master it. Don't flex your builds every game for no particular reason. And it's easy to do on Warwicks and Volibears and Shakos and anything with build diversity. And obviously I was making meme build suggestions. Don't go full, ultimate bravery on him. Good. But, he's spamming a build that works and he's maximizing it. There's a time for fun and there's a time for climbing. And climbing can be fun, but the thing that's fun about it is out jungling, winning. And to do that, sometimes you just need to focus on learning your champion and the jungling and, learning it through one particular build path. So I'm just basically giving you maybe the push you need to focus on one build and one style. It's unlikely you're going to invent one, okay? No offense, but try and find one that one trick is using and figure out what works for you best, Double Malphite ult in the mid lane onto the Jinx who lost to a flash earlier. Now she's kiting and running away, so we'll get that. Oh, it's 18,000 years slow from the threshold, man, and the glacial augment. Like, oh my god, that champion is the original overloaded support for those who don't remember. We'll just go ahead and do this red buff. Gwen is now effectively split pushing. So even though we were down in gold, we're coming back here. The Baron will be sporting, so we just keep clearing. This is the benefit of this. Just for context now, we've got 5 in E, 2 in W, and 4 in Q. So we're not really interested in anything other than well, Gwen is a strong champion. I don't understand the overcommit here, because very clearly your team isn't in a position to match parallel your push. Like, she's pushing here, obviously she gets the kill, but we don't have the shove here. We don't have the shove here because this isn't even down. The Shaco is going a little bit blind, where he's just saying, look, you guys are doing macro I don't like. I'm going to full clear and just keep getting strong as possible. I'm going to look at this and watch this and rotate if I need to. But mostly I just want to get strong here so I can finish my 3rd item, and once I've got my 3rd item, the Lord Doms, then we can go do stuff. I have enough armor penetration for the Cassante that I can deal with him. Obviously, Thresh has a little bit there. Well, he has 0, but it always feels like the guy needs it. My brain. With Thresh, sometimes it's like, oh, he's so tanky, you think he has armor items, but he just doesn't. Soul's OP. So the Vi will also most likely go some more armor than this, but she has that for now. So those are the people we want to make sure we can guaranteed kill. And obviously, armor penetration works in general. Remember, the Lord Dom's passive is more HP than us, so, Cassante won't necessarily build raw HP, but in this particular case, he has a shit ton. And obviously, we'll work against Thresh for the same exact reason. We are at, for example, 1800 HP. Thresh is at 2100. So we get that amplification as well on his base level armor, just from the Lord Doms, which is worth noting, right? 25% bonus physical damage against those champions with greater health than us. And he's at, 70, 94 armor, so it will do stuff. It's valuable. Because we went down and they decided to recognize that they have numbers advantage because the Blitzcrank is dead, they not coin flip, but they turn and go on the Baron. For some particular reason, the Gwen's like, I can do this. It's like, why are you remotely doing that? Now we definitely have to give it up. So the SHACO in this particular case can either go for the steal. The Jinx also just smacking people in the face. I don't think we should. I think if you're in a low mid MMR SHACO game here, and you see this with right here we go. Shove, 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 shove. Don't worry about the Baron. Just take this, cut out, take all of this, pull back here. You can push this out and decompress it if you need to. Just push waves, decompress, because you know they're gonna have Baron, they're gonna come back. I don't think it's worth the coin flip steal. I don't think so. I think we should just be pushing hardcore. Because they took so long to do that. If we were with the Aphelios, maybe we could very easily have done something super funky and then turn back on this anyway, right? That's the clone, guys. That's a very nice fear. The Gwen is up again. She does TP back in. The Shaco's like, oh, wait a second. You guys are actually doing this. We're going to kill the Cassandra, I think. Vi's going to queue over the wall into the Malphite. Hopefully, she queues the other direction laterally. We'll get kills here as well. Shaco's chasing that. Vi should die. This is what we want to do, right? You shove. If they take so damn long to do it, turn and kill them. There you go. But the hovering does pay off in that sense. But hopefully you understand what I mean, where my mind goes. Because if we can ace them, they don't have a Baron anymore, so... Very nice. Nicely done. Good TP, good rotation. Everyone collapsed. I like it. You know, if Aphelios can do that, then we can do that too. You can also maybe have taken this, but I don't want a results base to be like, oh, look, we got it anyway. Hopefully you know what I mean. I like to think as I would be thinking live, because that's the most realistic outcome you can have. So Q, for context, now is on 7.69 cooldown. This is on 6.15, 11.54, and obviously 69. Nice 0.23. Next dragon's coming up. We got the Ocean Dragon. As we retreat from this, we don't take this because we don't want to give them freebies. We go ahead and do all of these things. That's a good point, right? You don't always want to take the inhib early. I know it's good and commonplace to do so, but against Jinx, Cassio, Cassante, Vi, Thresh, who have had the lead throughout the game, and now we've just taken it over, why give them freebies? Because basically we know we can reset. What do we have in pocket? 1700, and we can maybe win the next fight. So let's see what we do. Wards deep, obviously you want to track that as much as possible. We know that they will be probing and putting down deep vision here. Malphite flanks in. Thresh activates the movement speed button because he recognizes, hey, their team is split, let's go. Again, the SHACO dominates positioning-wise and avoids the Cassio R and also avoids the Miasma. Goes straight in to kill the Vi. Is able to just go meets first. Q out. Ooh, the Q3, run away, sir. The Cassandra's just chasing him. There's a Q. Just runs away, and then the Gus Walker hatchling, gives him that huge movement speed. Super good in that particular situation. That was a bit of a clusterfuck fight. We'd need to slow it down super interestingly to break it down. So I'm gonna make a team fighting course, I think, on the site, just for those kind of things, all the different kinds of fights, and just break those things down really slowly, really dissect them, because that's what you have to spend time doing. I love doing it as well. I do it sometimes on this channel, but obviously in the interest of time, you can't do it with every team fight. It gets a little repetitive. Nice hook there. Obviously, we can chuck our 2 Shiv. We don't get the bonus damage there, but we're just going to keep attacking. We have the lifesteal as well from the Blade of the Ruin King. The box helps us disengage. Will we go back in? Let's have a look. Vi is fighting the Malphite on the red. He was forced to flash out. We'll just go ahead and do the dragon now. Problem is, we probably should have just... We're having a fat chat about team fighting. We probably should have just done this in the first place. I think we can all agree on that. The fact that the Vi is going to come in here and steal that is so unfortunate. We smited way too early. The hook does hit on us. We do have the flank from the top side there from the Cassandra. You see that TP come through. We just need to keep positioning as much as we can. And you see how he does as much damage as he can with his autos. We'll then reposition, place the box. And now basically we can go back in again. With the Deceive, the box is doing huge work from the clone's death. Sacrificial. And we'll take that as well. Unlucky we didn't get the dragon though. Unlucky. You kind of want to do this and then do the dragon. Let them chase. You get it, make your next plays afterwards. Right, after that, as long as you position correctly and you live, obviously we have the Q for us, the Duskblade passive, which allows us to move within fights like a genius. Use the Gus Walker hatchling to bounce around the bushes. And then obviously we've got Q Deceive as well. So the mobility in fights is pretty good. We want 16 now. We'll get it after Raptors. There we go. Bot wave is pushing in a little bit. We see the Jinx. This is what we're looking for. Scan for the approach. Hit the plant to see what's up. Can we get the Grump and get out? We see the Thresh. Obviously want to be cautious here. Don't want to overcommit and die. Definitely a big no-no in that regard. Trapping. This is fine. See, what he does, which is a lot different than you see from a lot of Shakos with your normal kind of approach. Obviously, 80 Shaco's better at splitting, but they will really look to leverage map pressure, and they just think Shaco's a terrible team fighter, but this guy really does a great job of team fighting. And the Fearless ult there is just not so good, and the clone forces that. Nice hook by the Blitzcrank, Q by the Malphite, ground slam, dead. Didn't actually ground slam in the end. Ground slam the Jinx, Q back in here. Let's go. Well then, that was an instantaneous Jinx, dead, gone. Collector, nice little execute as well. Bonus damage from E plus the Collector, plus some armor penetration. You'd be a dead person. Obviously when you've got Q damage plus passive damage as well. Chuck that one out from range. Malphite's going in rock solid style. The Gwen shows up. She's going super deep, and then we're gonna basically turn on the Vi. Here we have the Malphite Q, the 2-shift poison, plus the root from the Aphelios. And probably we can just chase her down now. No, they can focus the inhib. We have everything up at this particular point. We can E, we can flash, we can get that auto attack off from the bonus damage on the Q. We keep going. We chuck the E out once she's lower HP to get the bonus damage proc. Get the Dust Blade proc, dust our hands, and run away. The Hat Man does hat things. Now, again, Baron is up. This is what we want to snack. Aphelios is pushing this mid lane. We're like, guys, can we just take their camps and go? Can we just take the scuttle and go? Move, 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 move. Yes, we can. Free and easy as it be. They will push this out now. Double inhibs. Effectively, what we want to do here is maximize gold income for the reset into the top lane. If you, however, feel, and I've talked about this with I believe it was a Diamond 2 to Master Vi coaching, and his whole team was ready to shove. I've mentioned this before. He did the crux. He wanted to go back to base, right? To buy the part of a Sterak's. It's like, well, are you going to finish the Sterak's? No. Is it going to make you much stronger than you are now buying this little component? No. Is your team ready to go? Yes. Well, then stay out. So here we go for this. Sure, we have 2,500 and we could buy something, but does he feel like he needs it, or is he trying to save it for more rich merchandise? So basically, it's like, well, I can go buy a pot and maybe upgrade to a Warhammer, for example, right, hypothetically. Might as well just stay if we're strong and our team's ready to go. Because you go back to base now and there's a 5v4 and your team throws, that's because you based. You're strong, right? You have 17,000 gold. No one is even remotely close. As Gwen dies again, we'll just siege this with our... See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm seeing and saying? We take out the inhib. Almost. The Gwen dying is a problem. That's exactly what I'm saying. Now they see the 5v4. So can we win the 5v4 or should we just give it up? I think we should just... if we can get a pick, go for it. Otherwise, we should leave. We don't want a 5v4. Because currently the waves are here. They have a bit of space to actually 5v4 us without punishment. So what we want to do is definitely leave. Shaco goes back to base. We finish the Edge of Night. We have the completion now. That's what we wanted to get. Obviously, great versus Cassio. You could surprise her, force out an ult or a miasma that hits your spell shield. That's great. Ideally, the ult, because we can navigate the miasma. Yeah, definitely. Does miasma even trigger it? It should, right? It should trigger it. Actually weird. I actually have not thought about that interaction in 10 years. I don't face that many Cassios when I buy Edge of Night. I don't face Cassio enough on champions where I buy Edge of Night. Let me know in the comments. That's actually just weird. I'm blanking or I can't remember having seen it. Well, let's have a look now. This will be up again very, very shortly. Let's see if we use it. Obviously, great versus Thresh as well. We're going to cue the wall here. Hello, Cassio. We're waiting for it. It's not up yet. The hook does hit on the Blitzcrank. We reveal ourselves. Cassandra is there. He W's back, kills the Blitzcrank who had ship positioning. Now, again, we're in the same bloody position. We still have Baron for a little bit. Quarter of the time. Gwen's pushing this. She's rotating in. We have the Edge of Night available now. Okay, let's see what we can do here. The Cassandra goes in again. W again to reposition. We put the box placement. The miasma doesn't, well, the ultimate doesn't hit us. We chuck our clone forward. Doesn't look like we stepped on it, so it didn't trigger it. Again, that would make the most sense to me. We have here the Thresh being brought to where he did not want to be brought. He dies because of that. Now again, we can sit in the flanks here. Good positioning. We have boxes for protection. Is there anyone that wants to die? Rounded by the scanner and the miasma. Positioning is critical. Death is, well, that's our second death. I did say we would save it for a sacrificial time because the Malphite's like, yes, I hit the base. not the split pusher we were expecting, but the one we have. Well, that took a while. Anyway. should be able to be GG. Let's have a look. Nothing happens for a while. Slow down. Nothing happens for a while. Literally, no kills, nothing. The inhibs all respawn. No one dies. You know, there's no dragons on the map. We have 2, they have 3. We're waiting for the next spawns. They just relaxed here at this point, and I think a lot of it is to do with the fact that, you know, Blitzcrank gets picked and dies, Gwen gets picked and dies. You can't run forward against that Compass 4. You are limited as Shaker to a certain degree from those things. Thresh does hit the hook. Glacial Augment, please remove that rune. Seriously. It's warded, we can clear that. Team shows up. I don't want to bait, I mean, this is fine. You're just waiting for this one fight, like it's one fight, and then we'll see who wins. Basically is how it goes. Or we could backdoor Shaco. You do have that option. Okay, there you go. Hook into the Malphite, into the Gwen killing, onto the Cassiopeia. Beautifully done. Edge of Night is available as well. We can basically just every album. There you go. So that was the most uninteresting fight. That was the most uninteresting fight we could have possibly imagined. But good hook into Malphite R, into GG, into FF. So not a lot of team fighting breakdowns this game. I apologize. Just wanted to focus on the early and the mid game. Obviously, it runs along a little bit, but hopefully you can see why this guy is so damn good on the champion. Beautiful to watch. Nice to watch good assassin gameplay. Really good early game. Total control. Excellent CSPM numbers. Only dies twice a game, as you can see. 1, an outplay by the enemy because they're allowed to make those outplays through vision. We just didn't check the bush. It is what it is. And 2, most likely death from an attempt in a team fight. You know, and those are 2 reasonable ways to die, and no one's going to really get lower than that per game. So exquisite shit. Thank you very much for watching. Virkayu GG for courses, coaching, and other cool jungle stuff. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.